Good evening everyone and welcome to another tournament stream. Today we are streaming the first battles of the finals for the EU server. Today we will be seeing Raid versus Legion, and followed by that the upper bracket finals. And after that, that is the end for today, but then on Saturday we see the whole lower bracket, and then on Sunday the grand finals. So that is definitely something to look forward to. This is the teams as we have them right now. Loka, EG, Legion and Raid. Of course the latter shouldn't even be here because they failed to get the tickets for a tournament, but they used a loophole to get here anyway. But yeah, that's not a choice that I would make when it sacrifices literally all my integrity and all the respect that I had. But these are the top 4 teams that we have right now. And room invite should be up momentarily. There we go. And Rip on the other side, he is streaming in German. If you want to if you want to watch a stream in German, go to his channel. And of course you have every stream that is giving the coins today. They are streaming, and Fugit as well, he's not giving the coins, but they are both streaming EG versus Loka. Basically the lineup for the top 4, because now Mr. President just asked if I'm able to introduce the team before today's matches. You of course EG, who went to the offline Twister last year. Legion, that was the first world champion. Not necessarily first, but they were a world champion as well. They won a Twister offline. Loka is a clan that has been getting better and better, but so far has not managed to win the online or the offlines. And of course Raid, who was the world champion for 2018, but has now quite fallen from grace because of the way they used the loophole. So that is basically an introduction of the team. Legion, most of the players there are players that have been in teams like R2K and Legion of course in EG and other pro clans. Basically the players move around a little bit on the EU server. The only clan that actually doesn't do that is actually Raid, and that has more to do with the fact that they are German. They are German based, and that makes that their selection for players that can actually compete in their team is a lot lower than that for other clans. So basically we generally do see the same lineup from them player wise. But yeah, we'll see what happens tonight. In 3 minutes the battle will start. We are starting it off on Canal. Canal looks like this. You have 4 bases. Base A in the upper left corner, base B and C closest to their respective spawns, and base D the mat base. We've seen some fabulous action today on Canal as well, but also before, where basically the base A side is dominated, and that means that base B and C are protected from base A. And that's actually fairly interesting, because in random battles I would much prefer to go to the base D side, and I feel that it's easier to dominate the battle from there. But when you have a full team, that is quite different. So that is the map that we are going to start on in just over 2 minutes. And just checking to make sure that I did not leave a map on. They have 2 minutes to get ready. Plenty of time for that. Eggy and BL something are the only ones that have not readied up yet. But we see that Legion is sporting a 268, 2 E5s, T22 medium, an IS4 and 2 Sheridans. And they're going to go up against 2 IS4s, a mouse, 3 IS4s, 3 Sheridans and a 268. That is quite a daring move, to be honest. But we'll see how this will go in just over a minute and a half. We just need to be a little bit patient. And like I said, it's all about the dominance of the bases. In this case, the speed of the Sheridans might help Raid secure base A, or they might push through to base D, I don't know. Honestly, with a team you can go every which way, but you kind of need the speed to arrive places fast, especially on one of the bigger maps, and Canal is one of the bigger maps. So just over a minute left to go. We're almost there. In the meantime, I'm seeing the coins go up on the stream from every, and that is a good thing. I like free stuff. So this weekend I have the coin stream for NA tonight and NA on Saturday. I have the coin stream for Asia on Saturday and Sunday, and I'm the English commentator that will stream the EU finals on Wargaming's official channel on Sunday. So that's going to be fun. 25 seconds left to go before we go into the match. Just a little bit more patience needed. 13 seconds left to go. Everyone is ready except for the game itself. Countdown clock has begun. And let's see. E5's the score with their magical speed boost. Can go to places quite fast. And here we go. And let's see what they do with these lineups. Sheridans, of course, do not carry the DPM, but they have the speed. It's going to be nerfed hard next update, and I'm very happy with that. Because I still think missiles shouldn't be in the game as a whole. But yeah. See with the Sheridans from Legion heading towards base D. First shot's already being fired. Or at least I saw a tracer. Vano capping base B. Blast in a position to take him out if he gets spotted. There he goes. And he's not actually reset. Ooh, now he is though. JP resetting him. And that could be dangerous because then Raid is probably going to have an extra base. The Sheridans at the back are capping base A. That is a big missile hit into Vano. They know the Sheridans are there. We see another one flying. And that one bounced. Whoopsie, overlooking base C. Potentially going to steal it. And he is attempting that. That is cheeky. And Raid is actually dropping down. Drizzle is moving in to try and reset the base, but he is unspotted. And Legion is pulling a move here. That is oof. And that missile did not pen. And now Legion has base C and D, and they've taken the point advantage and the base advantage. Well, not necessarily point advantage yet, but they've taken the base advantage. Oof, that missed though by Nick. They need to be careful because they can't really afford to lose a lot of HP. They can't afford to lose their Sheridans this early in the game. But what a move by Legion. Nick still spotted. He has to be careful. He is a very lightly armored missile tank. And that makes him a very juicy target. He is using the bridge there to secure himself, which is a very good call. And the rest of Legion is basically waiting patiently. Nick now getting the blip out of there. Dakudas holding the line at the back to see if they are coming. He is supported by Lost, by Juicy. Nick going towards the middle, still able to support his team if needed. And we see at the back now, Object 3 moving. Juicy has been spotted and we see the missiles flying. And both of them not hitting. And already Legion has a near 100 point advantage. The Sheridans are now pulling back. They likely want to push the other side, maybe get Vano. Vano is pretty much hopelessly alone. But he will sell his skin, I would say. Very expensively. Raid here, focusing together. The Sheridans is waiting. And they are going for Vano. You saw the traces there. But Vano is still secure. And the Sheridans are now rushing together as they reload. Not sure if Vano is spotted. He knows that they are coming. He just doesn't know from where. And now they are spotted. And Vano is not dropping down. He's letting himself get hit here. But most of those shots miss. Legion is responding, but this is tricky because now Raid is going for the base. Object 3 is turning around. Followed by Nick. We see base C is being capped. And the E5s can't decap it from where they are. Raid is putting it back. They've put all their Sheridans in one corner though. Who are now running off, but they are taking hits there. But not enough. All tanks are still alive. Dakidas chasing. I wonder if they're going to attempt to take out Sneaky here. Ooh, but it almost cost them Nick as well. This was very tricky. They do take him out. And now they kind of need to get base. Juicy taking a hit there. Eggy as well. Playmaker is almost gone. They kind of need him to be taken out. Dakidas is taking base B. Playmaker is not even looking at the E5's direction. And there we go. Base B is almost kept. Legion is at 935 points. If they survive, that is the important part here. Nick has to survive. Eggy has to survive. They need to be careful. 959 points. Base D is being kept. They are almost there. They just need to kill Drizzle. Then they have it. And Eggy has to stay alive. Nick has to stay alive. There he goes. And that is the cue to 1k points. And Legion has the first match. Brilliant game this, honestly. And praise be to the donuts. Wow. These are the kind of games that you want to see as a streamer, honestly. So that is the first game gone. And we are going through to the second game on Canal. And we see a different lineup appearing on both sides. We see on Legion's side 2 268s, 2 IS4s, a T22 medium and 2 Sheridans. And on the Raid side we see 2 IS4 in E100, 3 Sheridans and a grill. And it will be interesting to see what they do with that, if they're going to attempt to dominate base A again. Less than a minute left to go before we go into this second match of this best of 7. The team that reaches 4 victories first is going to be the one that is through to the upper bracket finals, and the other one is through to the lower bracket. So let's see. Just need to be a little bit more patient. Half a minute left to go. And dun 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 dun. And no, I'm not disputing Raid skill. They are a very good clan. They have a very good team. But basically they used the dirty loophole to get here, and for that I don't think they deserve to be here. So let's see, 7 seconds left to go before we go into the match. And here we go. And let's see what happens this time. Very different lineups do mean some risks. And here we go. Raid going for base B. Last heading towards base D. And we have Nick capping base C. But Raid will at this stage have a slight point advantage, because they will have capped earlier. And we see the first shots flying. And Last is going into base D. And again, Raid will have a tiny point advantage here, because they will cap base A faster than Legion will cap. And we see a missile flying, but not hitting, and another one. And more missiles being used here. Base B is protected, base A is protected. Legion will have to make a move at some point to get a tank out of the way. And that is very dangerous when all of Raid's firepower is at base A. The IS-4s protecting one side. Toby in the middle, able to move fast and fire missiles. Raid Blaster protecting base B. And of course, we have Sneaky here, together with Sick in the corner, behind the tree. And we see some fire happening. They expect people to be in certain places, but no damage has been done yet. Drizzle takes a missile hit though. And now Playmaker is helping Blaster there. And Nick here, using the heal, but he has no target to shoot. Lost. And we see a missile fly up and over. I will be very... Ooh, no, it doesn't hit. I was gonna say I will be very surprised if that actually hits. Playmaker keeps getting spotted there. He's not alone though. And we see more missiles being fired. Oof. JP losing quite a bit of HP there. And Legion playing this very, very carefully. We're at 700 points though. At some point Legion will have to make a move. And that will be very dangerous with all those big guns aiming at them. Another missile flying, but it doesn't hit Drizzle this time. And basically I'm just flying around here. Not much else I can do. Legion completely split apart. And now we have Aggie going into the middle. That was a shot right into the sky. No idea what he was shooting at. And Aggie is waiting. We are at 807 points. They don't need much. They just need to get one of those bases for a little while to get that advantage back. And we see more fire happening. Sneaky taking a hit. Aggie now moving in. Juicy going up top. And now we have Dakudas going into base B. If he manages to get this though, if they manage to take out Playmaker, we are already at 900 points. Dakudas is pretty much murdered, and there he goes. And that's actually setting Legion back even further. Playmaker needs to be destroyed, there he goes. And base B is still being contested. Raid is not getting points for that. But they have to... Oof, base C is being contested as well. It is so close, guys. They need to survive. Object 3. Going head to head with Drizzle. There goes Lost. Raid is going to get this if they don't get any kills fast. 90 points for Legion. We're almost there, and there we go. Legion has the second game as well. Guys! That was awesome. So close again. Pushed at exactly the right time, taking exactly that bit. I think that Dakudas dying that quickly was not exactly incorporated. But it didn't matter, and Legion took it home. And now we are moving to Castilla. Castilla, my least favorite map of the game. It looks like this, yeah, 3 bases. Base A considered the map base, base B considered the please shoot me, I'm here base, and base C considered the heavy base. Of course, there's a lot of lines of fire into every base here. And that's also one of the problems. There's a lot of camping lines on both sides, and lots of crossfire possible. So any of these bases are generally heavily contested, and that makes it very dangerous to try and do anything on this map, to be fair. It also means that we generally get a lot of stalemate gaming on this map, because people will not want to peek out where the campers are and everything. Less than a minute left to go. We see lineups changing both sides, but the overall basically formula stays the same. We see E5s, we see Sheridans, we see some 268s and IS4s. And in this case, we see a very similar lineup appearing on both sides, because Legion is now sporting potentially 2 268s and IS... Well, actually no. Let's see. I'm just going to wait for them to ready up. But Raid is taking 3 Sheridans, 2 E5s, to 268 and an IS4. And Legion is taking 1 268, 2 E5s, 3 Sheridans and an IS4. This is literally the exact same lineup on both sides. So that's going to be very interesting to see. You don't see that very often, let me put it that way. And with 4 seconds left to go, here we go. And let's see what they do with this. It's going to be interesting to see this lineup and know you've picked exactly the same tanks. I think that I've never seen that before, aside from the meme battles. Yes. You don't spell it that way, but yes. So let's see. Legion, for the most part, heading towards base B and C. Raid heading towards base A. Juicy has to be very careful there when he's facing off against 3 missile tanks. And pretty much C is being completely ignored. We have Raid taking a hit there as they try to cap. No idea where that explosion was actually, in the corner. And they've taken a base. And now they're pushing up on the hill. Juicy has to be careful here. Base C is now being kept. Base B is uncontested. And Juicy's only attempting to spot. And he does shoot, but he doesn't hit. But the rest of Legion does. Vano using the building to deflect some missiles. Drizzle protecting base B. As is Dakidos from the other side. And now Juicy is letting Eggy take a forwarding position. And basically now Raid has an advantage of about just over a tank. And that can be very dangerous. Oh, that was a missile blast. Okay, a missile just exploded mid-air. That's what we saw. Stinky taking some damage there. And now Playmaker and Blaster are alone. But they are still at the back there. And could regroup very fast. Legion has to be careful not to think them weak. They're trying to hit Eggy here. Thing is that with the traces, vehicle traces later on, that can be very interesting. Legion is regrouping for this side. But they have to be careful with the spots that Raid is in. Vano now moving forwards dangerously. And he is immediately hit. Dakidos has to be careful where he's at. And he's going into the water, which is a good call. Vano taking more damage. They know those guns are still there. Base B is being taken. Base C is going to be contested. And base C is now being stolen. And Raid is securing their advantage here. Even with A being taken, they're getting 2 bases in turn. And Legion will have a tough time getting this back. Even if there's only 1 268 behind there. Dakidos being careful not to drown, but at the same time being careful not to get shot at. And we see Object 3 and Juicy now facing off against the missiles. And they have to be careful. Whoopsie moving in, but there's a 3rd Sheridan somewhere. Big hit into Sneaky there. Big hit into JP. And Raid is running off, but they have to be careful. Raid might have spread themselves too thin here. Whoopsie going in. I wonder if they're going to grab base C. They don't really have a choice. They kind of have to make a move. They know Drizzle is there. But they have to grab the base. We are... Oof. Blaster is almost gone. Vano taking a big hit here. I'm pulling back immediately. We are at 800 points. Vano is almost gone. Vano is not going to survive this, but Blaster is gone first. And Playmaker is getting stuck. He does take out Vano. And we have Sick that is loading his gun. Base C is not... Oof. Whoopsie, losing a ton of HP and is actually deleted. Raid securing this very nicely. Sick, almost gone. But still there. Base B is being taken, but they will need base C as well. Drizzle losing some HP here. Object 3 losing some more HP. They need base C as well. And they can't afford to. Object 3 is almost gone. Both teams have lost 2 guns. But there goes Sick. And they have to get base C. They have to make a move. And they have to be very careful about it. Juicy taking massive hits here. That missile not panning is very important. But with 950 points they don't really have a choice. They need those get those bases. Juicy taking more hits. 968 points. Drizzle losing some more HP. 980. This is not going to be enough. There goes Juicy. And with that, Legion has lost their first game to Raid. Very well played by Raid, to be honest. They dominated the bases very well and they made sure that Legion could not get them. But also Legion, at the end game, they did not take enough chances. Dakadas had to move into base C or help Juicy in base B, and it didn't happen. But that's basically how it goes. So we're going to go to the second game on Castilla. And we'll see what happens this time. We did get a lot of steelmate gaming, but this shows that those fast tanks can make such a difference. And we see the lineups changing on both sides. And in just over a minute we get to go back into the battle and see what happens in the fourth game of this best of 7. Legion now completely readied up. Oh, they were completely readied up, but they're not now. There we go. NG being moved in, or maybe not. There we go. And we see 2 268s, 3 IS4s, a Sheridan and an E5. And they're going to go up against 2 IS4s, 3 E5s and 2 Sheridans. So that is more mobility. And there we go. One of the IS4s has been exchanged for an E5. Which, with the magical speed boost, is a good call because they can relocate relatively fast with that. But it will be interesting to see what they do. Especially with the 2 268s. I'm not sure that's going to go well with the missiles. But we're going to see. 10 seconds left to go. And then we get to go into the game. Dun 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 dun. And here we go. Let's see. Here we go. Legion splitting up a little bit. Raid altogether moving towards base A. Whoopsie not going towards base A, but heading towards the area overlooking base B and C. Base B and C completely neglected by the looks of it. Aside from Drizzle going up and over, probably to protect base B. And all of Raid is heading towards base A, but they're not actually going in. Aggie and NG. NG moving towards base B as well. Aggie overlooking base A. JP has been spotted. And we see the first shots being fired. And the first damage being done to Aggie here. And he's going into the water, across the water. Across the river. And JP also takes a hit. Whoopsie in the Sheridan. Arriving as well. Getting spotted. Landing a big hit into JP there. Eggy potentially stuck on the hillside, not able to get up yet. It's really annoying when that happens. There you go. And we have Toby heading around the back towards base C. No bases have been kept yet. And HP wise, Raid still has the advantage. JP also heading around the back towards base C. Whoopsie has to be a little bit careful here. Toby having been spotted, so has Lost and Dakudas. And we have JP at the back ready to launch missiles. And let's see. 2 minutes into the game, not much has happened yet. Damage a little bit on both sides, but not a lot. No bases have been kept. No point or kill or gun advantage anywhere. Basically this is why I dislike Castilla. Especially when it comes to tournaments. It is such stalemate gaming here. Toby not getting hit there. Nick now going in potentially into base B. But he has to be careful because you have a drizzle there. NG getting spotted. Drizzle now getting spotted. They know he's there. Nick has not been spotted though. We see Engie at the back. Eggy, sorry. And we see Stick losing some HP. Before Eggy pulls back. Base C is now being taken. Lost immediately losing some HP for it though. Some HP damage done as well. Drizzle losing HP. Base B is also being capped by Engie, sorry. Your names are too alike, guys, sorry. And they're both losing HP for it. And Engie is pulling back. Lost is not. And we have Dakudas making a move. Engie losing more HP. That shot, not sure what he was aiming at. And they managed to get base C, so that is one base. Base A is now being kept. This is the one I wanted, sorry. And they kind of have to avoid base A being taken. And there he goes, he gets reset. They're attempting to cap base B again. But not quite. Blaster taking a little bit more HP, protected by the guns behind him. Eggy is in a relatively safe position. In this case, with only 2.5 minutes left to go, Legion is slowly taking control, but they have to be careful. Eggy losing some HP. Dakudas is going to be absolutely murdered here. Blaster has been taken out. And basically he is trolling Drizzle here. Dakudas still alive. Base B still not being kept. But now we have Lost just moving in. And all of Raid is pulled to one side. Dakudas is not going to survive this, but Legion has 2 bases now. They have a gun advantage already. Dakudas is just surviving here. He's gone now. But we see some action happening on the other side. Drizzle taking a big hit, but there goes Drizzle, and now Legion has a gun advantage again. We have Sneaky, who is getting steadily hammered. Whoops is almost gone. Legion does have to survive in order to win it though, so they have to be careful. Engie moving in, wanting to take out Sneaky. And there we go, that is 3 guns gone. Nick is almost gone. Toby is almost gone. Nick has to be... Oof, there he goes, but Toby goes as well. And it is 5 versus 3. Lost is in a precarious position. But he has teammates behind him. JP has been taken out. And now only these 2 raid players are left. And one of them just lost a chunk of health. Playmaker is the only one with a relatively healthy look upon him. And Legion is taking this game home. Now only Playmaker is left. And he can't hope to win against this many guns. And there he goes, Vano taking him out, arriving at the back. Look at the difference in damage though. Did not expect that. Very patiently played. And in this case, I do feel that the North spawn is stronger. And now we are going to go to Nube. Nube, of course, the donut map. I mean, we'll have to see how it goes, but praise be to the donut. You have 3 bases. Base A underneath the train tracks and the highways there. Base C and B and C close to their respective spawns. Anything can happen. But praise be to the donut. So, in just over a minute we get to go in. I'm just making sure that there's no map on your screen. And then we'll see. We see that Raid is now sporting 2 113s, a Mouse, 2 E5s and 2 Sheridans. And let's see what they're going to go up against. If they're ready up, that would definitely be helpful. But we see a lot of E5s happening. And there we go, some of them are being changed a little bit. They still have 40 seconds left to get ready. So that is plenty of time. And let's see. We see now a 268, 3 E5s, 1 IS4 and 2 113s. Relatively similar lineup to what Raid is sporting, but with a bit more big gun versus big armor. And here we go, 10 seconds. And let's see what happens on the donut map. Here we go. And there is the giant pink donut. If you do not get the reference, you need to watch my Ascent streams on Thursdays, because I streamed Legion a lot and we got this map a lot, and there was really funny donut action. Hence why it is the deity of Legion, to be fair. So let's see. There be the mighty donut. But Legion is taking things a lot more serious right now, all going towards base A. Raid doing the same thing, Eggy spotting the donut. The Sheridans are spotted as they go up, as is most of Legion. And we see that Eggy is going for another route. And we have the 113s pushing into the middle, and that is a very cheeky thing. Basically we are seeing a push, and that push could be very dangerous for Legion, as they are both showing both their sides basically. But with Drizzle down there below, he is the first one gone. Sneaky is next in line. We see missiles flying, Last not looking all too healthy, but Sneaky losing a lot of HP there. And Sneaky is also gone. This gives Legion a 2-gun advantage, even though Last is almost gone as well. Whoopsie not looking too healthy, Blaster arriving. There goes Last. He survived a lot longer than I thought he would, to be fair. Angie is engaging Blaster. Sick is pulling back. But Eggy is ignoring him in order to take out Sick. And with the last reload... Ooh, no, Playmaker is taken out by Whoopsie from the other side. Eggy is not going to survive this, but he does not need to. Toby taking out Whoopsie. Tanks are dropping left and right. There goes Eggy. Dakidas going after Toby. And he might take a hit for that. But he actually ram kills him. Blaster is still alive. Let's have a look at that. But this is definitely Legion's game. Only 2 guns left. And there he goes. And now only JP is left. Where did he go? There he is. He arrived. Sorry, I lost him there. And there he goes. And Legion takes it home on the donut map. And what a fitting tribute. And Legion is through to the upper bracket. and has to play another game today. Well done, my boys. Very short game. Very aggressive gameplay by rate. One can wonder whether or not they were just like, F it, and just went for it. Because this did not look like serious gameplay on their side. Or maybe they had hoped to catch one tank or two tanks together with all their tanks and did not expect to meet the whole of Legion there. Could be. So that is the first matchup. Let's see if we have a score for the other side yet. Loka versus EG is still going. So I'm going to be showing you some replays, and this does not happen often. I actually have a replay of my own that I'm going to show off. This does not happen often, mainly because A, I don't like showing my own games on stream that much, and also because I basically I don't get many aces in the tiers that I find interesting. But this is actually a very nice game, so I'm actually going to show that, and I'll show you exactly why it isn't. Well, of course you're gonna see it, but this was me with Toby, and we were playing against Souls. Now, Souls is of course one of the top 8 clans as well. And I know that they're good players. They're both driving fast tanks. So with Oasis Palms, at this stage I'm very sure that they are going to be focusing, especially since they have one more fast tank than us, that they're going to be focusing on the base C side. Which means that you can do two things now. You can either meet them head on, or you can do exactly the opposite. And in this case, because they also had this fast tank advantage, I decided to go the opposite. And lo and behold, my team is actually working with me. So I'm very happy with that, but I figured that this would not be advantage enough, so I decided to not go towards base A, but have my team go in that direction, but to be pretty forward and take a risk, because now I know that they're at base C, they are capping that, and I figured that the best way to avoid losing this game is to get the advantage. So if my team is going to get base A, I'm just going to get base B. So they've got base C now, but they can't really shoot me from there. I've not been spotted, so I'm relatively safe, and I just need to not move and just be careful. So now my team will have two bases. That will put the pressure on them. And we have the Chieftain MK6 there, and I decide to I know I can either go towards base A or I can go into the city here. And I decide to do that instead, going a bit around to avoid getting shot by the guns at base C. Chieftain is losing a bit more HP. We have the FV going around the back there. I can't shoot him. I am an auto reloader. I can do a lot of damage very fast. The FV is not pushing, so I decide to go after the Chieftain instead. Chieftain's still alive, but now he's not. And I can reload my shot. And we see Souls arriving at the back with the fast tanks. We have big guns over here. So that is what we need to be careful about. I don't like that FV there. He's also a clipper. And he can do very evil things with that. But we have the Jaeger there. The FV is not making any move towards me. So I decide to shoot him. Cross on over as not to get shot by the fast tanks on the other side. And as I reload my third shot, I notice the FV is not looking in my direction. So I shoot him. He gets stuck against the building. I shoot him again. Only I cannot take that kill shot. But one of my teammates does, and that's the third gun that they've lost so far. And this is what I like about meeting pro players. You can either fight against them, or you can take out the guns around them. Because the thing is, that even pro players will have a lot of issues with basically dealing with Kolobenov situations. It is not easy. But they are still full health though, so am I. But we kind of have to be careful. I bounce shot there, they take out a tank from us. And I decide to go after the STB because he is the juiciest target in this case for me. And also the most likely for me to be able to clip. So now he's a one shot, so as long as I make sure that I pen this, even if it means taking another shot, I do it. So we have the Leo there. 950 points. Toby's not looking too healthy. I actually can't shoot the Leo in time to save Fizzy, but I do take him out. And now there's only the Sheridan left. My teammates are not looking all too healthy. But I decide not to go after them. I decide to just go after the Sheridan. Because we have the points. And I have the auto reloader. Him getting stuck against the Gruul Corps is actually very helpful here. But now I have to be careful. And now we're almost won. And I really want to kill him because he's the last one. The MX is pretty much useless, so he's not going to be much of help. But then I get it. I do need 5k damage. I get 5 kills. And this is just one of those games. I really, really like it. I like... not necessarily outsmarting, because that's not the thing. But just like a reverse tactic of what you would usually do in order to win against 2 players that you know could have had you very easily. So yeah, 1673 basic speed, not too unhappy with that. To be fair, I also did get 630 supremacy points, which definitely helped towards the ace here. But they are pro players, and that is one way to win against pro players if you meet them. You can either go against them, or go against their team and then deal with them. Hello everyone that is watching, by the way. Honestly, I have no idea how many people are watching because my live streaming live control room is showing that it's 7 people, but I see more people in the chat, so I know that it's more. But let's have a look if we know the score on the other side yet. That is still going. That's going to be interesting matches though. They are currently on New Bay. I am seeing a little bit of it on the coin stream. And it is interesting to see how they're playing. I love it. So let's see, what else have I got for you? I actually have so many good replays, to be fair, and not all that much time to show them off. Let's see. I'm going to show you a replay of a tank that is currently in the store, so that you can see if you enjoy it. Here we go. Fufu playing with Nilo. Nuno is one of my favorite people in the whole game ever. And Fufu is a fake Dutch person because he actually moved to Belgium. And let's see. Let's see. This is actually a tank I quite like it. At the same time, I also hate it because it's one of those tanks that it is very troll. It has very troll armor, but it also has a very troll gun. I've never missed as many shots as I have with this tank. In the meantime, I'm trying to stay hydrated. It is like 30 degrees in here, and I have to close my windows in order to stream because otherwise you would be hearing a lot of traffic noise. And hello, Aggie. He just said the donut is a generous god, and he is right. Praise be to the donut. So let's see. Not much happening just yet. This camo does look fancy on the tank though. Nuno bouncing a shot there. And they are getting flanked by another 252U. Oof, that is what I mean, it has such troll armor. Because only now it's starting to lose HP. So tonight, of course, no one is actually getting knocked out just yet, because we got the upper bracket finals, and then the loser of that goes to the lower bracket. And anything can still happen. So let's see if we know the score yet. Just having a quick glance at the stream from every to see what's going on. It is 2-3 for EG on his stream right now, so that is, you see that with delay and I see this with delayed, but yeah. But that means that it's quite exciting games, and that is fun. Now Fufu is actually taking the hit for Nuno here. And he can't really shoot that IS-6. But he can shoot this guy for being way too forwards. Nuno has to be careful though. Action X has great reload. The other 252U has finally been taken out. We have a Spaghetti on the other side. Spaghetti is one of my favorite tanks as well. That was a nice bounce, not aimed for him. And now they're pushing up and over, which I think is a good call. Just be very... No, you did not focus that shot right. Overall, though, generally careful gameplay. And Nuno here probably told Fufu to leave it. And now you have a spaghetti 46 up your bum. Let's see. Nice shot here. Now he's basically surrounded by tanks. He's going to need that true armor. And he's going to need it very much. That is one tank gone. And now he's 1 versus 4. With 500 HP and a T-49 behind him. So that is one gone. He does not want a T-49. But he kind of has no choice here. Oh, that bounce though. Always nice to let a much lighter tank hug you. So now he's in a good direction. He just needs to shoot and HE. He can just HE him here. And there we go. 2 tanks left. Okay, good. Yeah, thank you. And he still manages to bounce that. That was derp. Why did you do that? You nub. He kind of needs to know where the other one is. And there's the other one. Ooh, that is a good bounce. Thing is that with the Helsing, oof, that was close though. And he is risking that. And there we go. Now he just has to content himself. Oof, the Helsing missing that one is very vital at this point. You got really lucky there, Fufu. Let's see. He is running away. He actually tracked himself there. Let's see. That is helpful. If he didn't miss that. He does not have enough time to cap. He will need to chase. And try and... Fufu in the meantime is getting to the point where he sees his own replay and he's hiding now. He's calling himself a culinary immigrant. And there's the Helsing. Oh! How did he do just 5? Is he shooting HE? This is also something Nuno does, and I really love him for it. Giving just a little bit, like, not necessarily instructions, but just like notifications of how much time is left and such. Oh, and there we go. Very well done. Fufu exclaiming in happiness about the things he wants to do to women. But in this case, I can, yeah, with the way he was lined up versus those people, how much HP he had left, he really should not have won this. So very well done for that. Bounce 10 shots. That Helsing though, shooting HE at the end. Wow. Lots of underscores just asked where I'm from. I'm from the Netherlands. So I am Dutch. In the meantime, I'm watching some interesting action on every stream. I'm kind of like trying to see all the games at once. I honestly wish that I could, because it would be so epic. So that is the next game gone. And actually in game we should probably be able to see a score now, shouldn't we? Let's have a look. No, it's still going. Oh my god. It is so close though. Honestly love it. As a streamer, that's the kind of matchup that you want, to be fair. So let's see, what else can I show you? Actually have another, I showed one of Spaces earlier today on the Aces stream. I'm going to show you one more, but then a different one. It is 3-3 Loka versus EG, so that's going to be exciting. Let's see, this is actually a tank, I still need to get it. I'm not that interested in the French tanks except for the Batchat, and I do have that. And this is also something, I'm not sure if I can make a whole video of it because that would be boring, but I want to sort of like explain to people how to read the teams. In this case you have 3 heavies on both sides, 2 TDs on this side and 1 on the other, and 3 fast tanks on your side and 3 on the other side. So it is, unless you get the support from the TDs at the mat side, you kind of want to push the other side because that is where your strength lies as a team. In this case it also helps that with Spacey driving a heavy tank, this is also where his particular strength lies. They are there though, and Spacey cannot really get any shots in here. He's being a little bit more forwards now. There you go, that's a nice shot. He's being very careful. Chieftain is being very forwards here. And that is what Spacey wants to use now, especially since he's not being focused on at all by the enemy team. But he has to be careful of potential snipers at base C. So he's now reloading his clip. Bouncing that shot is very nice. Let's see. He is still alive. His team is getting shot at from all directions. And now he's got his clip and he can clip this chieftain. And he's bouncing again. That is very nicely done because the AMX 50B is not exactly known for its armor. And it can be HE'd by a lot of tanks. So now he's reloading his clip. And he kind of wants to move in. Nice hit. He can clip the T-57 Heavy. Especially when the T-57 Heavy is not... Oof! That bounce though. On both sides, to be fair. Jäger is moving in. Probably wanting a bit of juicy AMX. And he can clip the E100, he just has to be careful. Oh, that is a big hit. But that definitely helps. It's good to have a friend here with you, basically. Jäger now firing means that he can move in relatively safe. And he is leaving the Jäger, which can be very dangerous here. As the Jäger is still alive now. And just fire another shot, but there he goes. Now you have 2 fast tanks. They've ignored all the bases. And there goes the T-62A. Let's see. Spaghetti there. Nice little bounce. And he's not able, he's actually reloading his clip, which is a good call because now he can probably clip the spaghetti. And the IS-4 is still full health, which is a very good thing. Because that means he can take some hits. And now with that, the spaghetti can be clipped. And he does get hit. But at this stage it doesn't even matter, because there he goes. And now we have a very much a one-shot E1, who cannot one-shot either of them. So Space is just reloading his clip. He's already on 7.4k damage, that's just nuts. In this case he kind of deserves the Top Gun. Not sure if the IS-4 is going to give it to him though. But he gets it with a high roll of 71 HP. Very nicely done. That is an epic ace, to be fair. But definitely also thanks to IB coin flip there, because he wouldn't have won without that. 1723 base XP. Only supremacy points from the kills. Amazing carry. So 15 minutes left before we go into the match. That means that the room is up. In 5 minutes, that means I'm not going to show you another replay. And let's see, do we actually know what happened between EG and Luck yet? Oh, this is not the one that I wanted. Let's see. EG won it. So that means that on Saturday we start with Loka versus Raid. And that we now get Legion versus EG. That is going to be freaking epic. This is the match that we're ending the night with in about 15 minutes. But that was so close though. I mean 4-3, that is basically the kind of games you want on stream though. So happy for Every and Fugit that they got that one. Happy also for me that I got Legion. But it's just like, tiebreakers are lovely for streamers. You want as many games as you can get. So close though. So let's see. Just need to be a little bit more patient and actually go over what's in the store then while we wait anyway. Did the same on Asia when we waited because I didn't really... Actually no, I have 15 minutes. That means I can show you another replay. So I'm going to do just that. If not for the fact that I just misclicked something and now it's opening a program that I don't want to open. There we go. And it's gone again. Let's see. I'm going to stick to the whole... since I'm showing off my clan anyway. Let's show off Toby. In the charioteer. You can still submit replays, but there's a good chance that I won't be able to show them off because there's only a few streams left where I can actually show replays. Which is exactly the number 4, because on Sunday we only have one matchup. And then only on... Well, actually in Asia and EU I need to probably fill some time. Because there's a minimum amount of time you need to stream as a streamer when you have the coin stream in order to get the maximum amount of coins. Let's see. Nope. That's better. As for what Kevin Tang just asked, in my opinion, this Centurion, really? That is just... wow. I would report people for that. There's a convoy. But yeah, you should never sell to your tanks, in my opinion. This coming from the person that did just sell the E3 in order to be able to get a tank faster because I was impatient. But yeah, overall, I'm not into selling tier 10 tanks. PTA, there's another tank up top there. Dude, really? This Centurion is annoying as fuck. Pardon my language. It's players like that that I would love to delete from the game. I don't mind people that have no clue how to play. That can happen. But players that are willfully getting into your way, consciously making sure that you can't do anything, are just like... yeah. I don't have any good words for them, let's put it that way. Let's see, AMX arriving. And that's the end of him. We have the convoy at the back there. Oof, nice one. Toby's being pretty aggressive here. But it is working out for him. The enemy team has 2 bases, so they have to be careful about that. And the Centurion is still alive, unfortunately. And there we go. In the meantime, I just squished the bugs and now my hand is full of goo. Basically, I have this like these little moths here and they're annoying as F. There we go. I have wipes though, so that's all good. I'm always prepared for streaming. Let's see. Nice one. There we go, AMX doing his part. Low arriving and getting murdered for it. And now there's only a Moiskin left. And he can even HE part of the Moiskin, depending on what party he's seeing. Let's see. Oh, nice high roll. 5k damage in tier 8. That's always epic. And Toby did that on purpose. You little git. I saw that. He pushed into the AMX so that he could get the kill. A little bit understanding there because it is a top gun and that might have contributed to the ace. But still, it's also an Halonen because she killed a tank higher. Whatchamacallit? Higher tier, there you go. 1647 basic speed. The Amona 3 also had a nice game here, first class. And I just have to do this. Yeah, when you have that many games, you have that kind of win rate, you know exactly what you're doing when you're pushing people out of their position. Disgusting. So now the room invite will be up in 3 minutes. That means I'm not going to be showing you any more replays here, and we're going to go look at the store or something. Let's see. We have the SU-100Y, which is one of the few tanks you can still get in crates, I believe, as in the weekly crates. It is relatively... it's not that great a tank, though. It's not, like, awful, but it's not great. It's called the box tank for a reason, and I always find it very easy to kill. And then we have the TU-34, which looks very epic, and is generally a very fun tank, with amazing gun depression and all of that. And then we have the Chimera, which I like mainly for the looks and the name. And that has to do, I'm a big fan of mythology, hence my nickname Amanet. Amanet is actually an Egyptian goddess. That is why I chose it, because I found what she stood for inspiring. And then we have the 252U, but I've already shown you that on Fufu's game. What it can do and where it derps, because it basically showed both sides. You have the cheaper version of that bundle. Then you have this bundle with 5 tanks. The Cromwell B, the Victory, the Rudy, the IS-2, the 9045, and the EC-122S. First 3 are utterly amazing tanks. Absolutely love them. The last 2, not so much though. They're not really my cup of tea. I never liked the IS tanks, except for the IS-3, the IS-8 and the IS-7. But just like the IS and the IS-2, not my kind of thing. And then you have the smaller bundle of that, which really lacks the Victory, otherwise this would be the perfect bundle if you remove the IS-2. You have of course the Cromwell B, which is absolutely lovely. You have some camos that you can get. which I find relatively boring. I'm not going to get them. They're not my kind of camo. I'm more into the splashing camo and this one actually. I do like this one. I also have on this tank, I have this one because I can. And I put the koi fish on there because that also looked quite funny. So, just over a minute left to go, or under a minute left to go, before we get the room invite. And then we're going to see some Legion versus EG. Both teams, I've met quite some people of over the years, and it's going to be amazing to see them play. This is one of those, I don't have a particular favorite this matchup, because I adore both of them. I have seen EG pretty much not at all this season, mainly because every has been requested to stream EG only, so I've not seen any of their games. But they're amazing. They didn't go to the offline Twister last year for nothing, of course. And come on with the room invite. Let's get this party started. There we go. And let's see. Little less than 5 minutes left to go before we go into the match. We are starting it off on Winter Marinovka, which looks like this. Yeah, 3 base. We actually saw this game, this map, with the AMX game from Spacey that I was showing. And we see base A, B and C relatively close together. A bit more apart in the mid corner. I like the positioning around base A a lot better, but if you want to dominate 2 bases, going for B and C is easier than going for A and one of the other bases, because that means splitting up your team quite a bit. So that is where we're going to go for the first match, for the first 2 matches that we're going to see. This is a best of 9, so it's no longer a best of 7, we're entering the best of 9 stage. So that means that we get at least 5 games, and the team that reaches 5 victories first is the one that is going to go through to the grand final straight off, and the other team is going towards the lower bracket. So like I said, no one is being knocked out tonight just yet. And we'll see what happens here in 3 minutes and 33 seconds. AG almost completely ready. Let's see. There's Fugit. We don't have Rip and Every in the room yet, because I'm scrolling on the other side and you don't see anyone yet. But hello Fugit, if you have not subscribed to his channel yet, definitely do so. Brian wants me to show a game, but I'm not going to be able to show you any games tonight. We'll do so on Saturday, Brian, if you really want. Because I can't really show it now, and I'm not going to be able to. I'm not going to be extending this stream because you're not getting coins from me. Whereas on the other side, Every still has to stream at least 40 minutes in order to give everyone their all their rewards. So yeah, you're going to have a fun, well, not necessarily fun, you're going to have a game by Brian. That is just pretty much heartbreak, but it is an epic game. Two minutes left to go. EG has completely readied up in 3 IS-4s. 2 113s is Sheridan and a Mouse. And they're going to go up against 3 IS-4s. There's Every. Let's see. Rip is not here yet. 2 minutes left to go before we go into the game. I don't really think he would have quit streaming just because Raid isn't playing at this stage. That would be, yeah. But yeah, Legion is taking 3 IS-4s, 2 Mice and 2 Sheridans. Very interesting lineup on both sides. I'm eager to see what they do with this. 1.5 minutes left to go. I mean, I get wanting to stream one clan, but you do have to show heart for all of them, in my opinion. Of course we all have our favourites. I do too. Like I said, these 2 are 2 of them. Rip still not in the room. Just over a minute left to go. And let's see. Under a minute now. Kind of curious if he's going to make it, because you can, if you scroll down, this is basically what you see. If you scroll down, that's how I know that us three are here. But we are missing Rib. "40 seconds left to go, and then we go into the first matchup of this best of 9. It is, as Brian said earlier today, mentally draining to go from best of 7 to best of 9. And it will be interesting to see how that goes, because basically Feast just like melted away on the Aces server. Is he seriously not streaming this game because it's not raid? I mean, come on. Wow. He's not coming. This is... yeah. Can't really think of anything nice to say at this stage. So let's just focus on the battle. And we'll see what happens. One thing I like about the EU service, with all the drama that we have, when you are looking at the English-speaking players, most of them have been... most of the players have been in teams together. And that actually makes it very interesting to see them play. So EG is focusing on the BC side. Legion the same, Daggerdas and Spacey are facing off against each other. Whoopsie in the Sheridan in the middle. Wanting to see some targets, but not seeing any. Winch going, there he goes, he has been spotted. And the first hits are delivered. But only NG takes a little bit of damage in his mouse. And he can afford to lose some. Base A is being taken. Spacey has been spotted though. We see missiles flying both sides. And Daggett is actually losing a chunk of health because of it. Now Nick is moving in. And going up the ramp here. And he might spot either Edgar or Spacey at the back. He's not going for it though. And both teams have a base. And EG has a tiny point advantage here. Because they kept earlier. Base B is uncontested. Nicolate leaving base C. Let's see. Bit of a stalemate game now at this stage. Neither team making a move. They don't really have to take a move. They basically have to drive into base C for just a split second in order to get their advantage back. And we see some shots happening. NG taking a more forwards position. And we have the Sheridan and the mouse at the back. Nick going once more to the position he was in before to see if he can spot anyone. I'm going to follow him for a little bit. He doesn't see anyone, but they can guess that they are there. And in this case you always have to be careful. You can't really afford to get spotted yourself when you're this lightly armored. And when you know that there's a lot of guns in the corner, you just don't know exactly where they are. Echo moving a bit forwards. Nick. Not spotting him. But now they have. They know the mouse is there. HP wise, roughly 1k between them. Point wise, only 5 points between them. So basically I'm just flying around here, going in circles because nothing is happening. Not much I can commentate on. And Legion will have to make the move. They missed that tiny bit of point advantage. And EG is protecting base C very well, and Winch is there to protect base B if needed. Nicolate pulling back. Whoops has been spotted. He is trying to find Spacey here. And he's being very careful going about it. And blind shots are fired into the space that he was at. And now he's running off. Basically the Sheridans are running around, but they're the only ones moving. The rest is going backwards and forwards a little bit. And not much is happening. Nick now going up the middle. And we see the first fire happening. Object 3 losing a little bit of HP there. But overall, again, not much is happening. We only have 3 minutes left though, you know that, right? Less, because both teams have a base. And at some point they will have to make a move. And I think the move will be to get base B. 800 points for both of them. NG is moving in. Slowly but surely, as is Radicals. And if they get base B, they don't need to have it for long. And now, base B is being kept. NG. Oof. Spacey losing a lot of HP at the back there. The 2 Sheridans moving in. And with that, base C now is now being contested as well. Base B has been taken. We are 900 points. And it is ranking up fast for Legion. As long as they keep their tanks alive. Radicals. Orca is gone. 970 points. Legion has this. They just need to survive a little bit longer. Radicals is vital at this stage. But 9. There we go. 1k points. Legion take it home. Radicals survives. Just don't ask how. And with only 1 tank gone, Legion gets the first game. Very patient gameplay on both sides. Timing that move expertly to go towards base B and cap. Damage wise, not 500 points between them in damage done. Very well done. Wow. So that is the first game gone of this best of 9. And we see that EG in reaction is taking more armor now. They're taking 3 mice, potentially. They're not completely readied up yet, so anything can still happen. But still. Let's see. 1 minute left to go. Rip seriously quit streaming because Ray got knocked out tonight. He should be here as well. He should stream this as well. That is just wow. I'm very disappointed at this stage. So we have EG ready in 2 113s, 2 Sheridans, 2 mice and a 268, and they're gonna go up against 1 IS4, 1 mouse, 3 Sheridans and 2 E5s. So let's see. 20 seconds left to go. Oh, apparently Rip didn't get an invite. I find that hard to believe though. We were all supposed to get invites to this, but then I take back my words that it's not Rip's fault. And if you're seriously coming here to say that, I will just hide you altogether. 2 seconds left to go. Here we go into the second game of this matchup. And let's see what's going to happen. But yeah, then I take back my words regarding Rip. I thought he just quit streaming because Ray got knocked out. But otherwise he would be here. I wonder what I'm going to be reading on Discord about that later on. Let's see. Winch sporting the... I always call it the Aboriginal camera because it looks like that. It's actually called the 313, but yeah. So let's see. Similar movements to last time, only now EG has more fast tanks. And we see a missile flying into the blind spot. But no one is there. Dakidas and Juicy and Whoopsie all in very different positions. The mice are moving into the middle. Dakotas is getting the blip out of there. Base C is being capped by Nick. Base B is uncontested. But there's some heavy tanks there, so I'm not sure anyone wants to cap that. Base A is also being capped. We see some missiles flying, but not doing any damage yet. HP-wise, Legion has a tiny advantage here. But I do mean tiny. Dakotas moving around the back. Whoopsie following. He has been spotted though, so he needs to be careful. RG is waiting to get a shot in. Edgar taking a chunk of health from Whoops. Moving in. Oof, that, oh. Nick barely alive. Surviving by the skin of his teeth, having literally 6 HP left. I don't think Legion expected that. So they know where the Sheridans were. They know that Nick can't really take any chances. The 113s are pushing in. Object 3 is moving to support his team. Taking a hit there. And the 113s are pushing. Last also moving. Nick still alive, just don't ask how. And we have EG pushing in the middle. I want to show you everything. This is the best way I can do it. Winch moving in towards base B. Legion pushing this side and pushing hard. Edgar not looking too healthy. There goes Edgar. Nick actually making that kill with his 6 HP. And now we have Nicolade, who is caught in alone. We have General moving at the back, going to take out Object 3 here. There's nothing to it. And now Edgar is running off. Oh, but there finally goes Nick. Nice baiting by General. Sorry, I should say General, not Edgar. Edgar was already dead. Winch losing more HP. Radicals moving in. Juicy, barely alive, but still alive, as is General. Angie moving in, wanting to take out Winch. He will have to make the shot count. And he does not want to... No, he actually does derp it. Juicy has been taken out. It is 4 versus 5. But it is a close one. AG has 2 bases though. And again, Aggie bounces. And that in this case is going to be very costly, especially with RG. Now gone. But so is Aggie. And it is 2 versus 4. Winch is hiding. Last is facing off against General. Dakotas is not going to survive this. And he's losing a chunk of health for shooting. And there we go. And even Lost is taken out by Spacey. And EG takes this game home. I love games like this, honestly. It was close, but I think that Nick losing... Well, basically, Dakotas and Nick losing so much HP just from getting out of that position. That is very, very brutal. 1.5 minutes left to go before we go into the third match. We are moving on to Alpenstadt. And Alpenstadt is one of the more interesting maps that we've seen so far in the tournament. Action is generally not too boring here, with a lot of heavy pushes and running around and everything. It is a fun map. You have 3 bases, base B in the middle of the city, base C near the outbuildings, and base A considered map base. We generally see some super heavy action on this map, and it, like I said, it leads to quite some interesting gameplay. So let's focus on that. Just over a minute left to go. I will definitely ask Raid later, but if you didn't get an invite yet, that would not work. EG now ready up with 2 IS-4s, an E50M, a 113, a 268, a Sheridan, and an STB. Very mixed lineup. And Legion is still deciding what to drive. We might see some changes. No, the IS-4 has been changed to a 113, and Rashford changed to an IS-4, so it's the same lineup as before. And on the other side, we see a 268, 2 IS-4s, 2 AMX 50Bs, an E5, and a Sheridan. 18 seconds left to go before we go into the third match of this best of 9. Like I said, anything can happen at this stage. There's no real pressure yet. No one is being knocked out tonight. So let's see. Here we go. Let's see what happens. Honestly, I'm melting. I want ice cream. Oh, it's so warm in here. It's not fun. Luckily, in the weekend, the temperature will be a lot better. Ooh. The temperature will be a lot better over the weekend, so then streaming all 3 servers is not going to be that much of an issue. Because then I can actually survive being at home. So we have Rashford and Edgar going towards base B to protect it. And the rest of EG focusing on the C side. The AMXs are going towards... Oh, sorry, the A side. A is now being kept. And we have Dakadas going into base C. With Whoops in the E5 going into base B very aggressively. I'm not sure if he's going to get away with that. No, he's losing HP. Radicals is arriving as well. And... Oh, Nick! Very aggressive gameplay by Legion. Radicals losing most of his HP just by going there. Object 3 now crossing over. Radicals is almost gone. This is not looking good for Legion. Nick almost gone as well. And we have Winch moving in. Big hit into Edgar there. Winch arriving at the back. Object 3 not penning that shot is very vital. Radicals still alive, but barely. There he goes. He's been taken out. Rashford moving in. And Object 3 ignoring Rashford. Hitting Edgar instead. Going to ram Winch. But this is very chaotic and unnecessary chaotic gaming on Legion's side. Losing 3 guns this early in the game without any need for it. And in this case, that shot not penning is going to get Vano killed. Not sure why he didn't shoot the one shot. And now it is 2. There it is 1 versus 4. We are in a very epic Colobano situation, but I'm fairly certain that Lost is not going to be able to do it, especially not when he's losing this much HP this fast. Big hits, a little bit of fire for Lost. And this is definitely going to be EG's game. By a pretty much YOLO gameplay by Legion. This was completely unnecessary. Can't say it any other way. Legion was like, yeah, let's flip the table. Like, quite literally. Wow. And it wasn't even... well, it wasn't that easy for EG either. It was still relatively close. But Legion just basically tossed away both Radicals and also Whoopsie. And then Object 3 had to go in and he lost a ton of health for that. And he was unnecessary. So that was a free victory for EG. And we now see that EG is taking a very heavy lineup. With a 113, 2 IS4s, 3 mice and an E100. No, it is not a 113. It's 3 IS4s, 3 mice and an E100. And they're going to go up against a 268, 3 IS4s, an E5 and 2 Sheridans. In less than a minute we get to go into the game. And we'll see what happens. We just have to be a little bit more patient. This is always the boring part. Everyone is ready except for the game itself. And there's not that much to talk about at this stage. Very curious what happened with Rib. But we'll see. Half a minute left to go before we go into the match. And we see what happens. This is basically a matchup that I would love to see in the finals as well. No offense to the other teams, but yeah, like I said, these two are my favorites. Though Loka, of course, always has a special place in my heart because I made it. ages ago. Let's see. 6 seconds left to go. We are ready for the 4th match of this best of 9. And let's hope that Legion has gotten it back together. Because this is not the kind of gameplay that we want. This seems to be kind of like what happened in on the Aces server, really. Let's see. Come on. And here we go. EG focusing on the B and C side. No surprise there, they don't have any fast tanks. Where we have Legion going towards the base A side and a little bit towards the middle. But mostly to protect. They're free to take base A and they're free to take it early. So that's going to give them a nice point and base advantage. Especially when they cap it together and camp even faster. Some blind shot going into base A, but none of it panning. And we have Lars moving up the ramp to spot who is there. But EG does not seem to be interested in capping. Not base B in any case. They are taking base C. And then we are going to have a waiting game. But Legion will have about a 2 tank point advantage at this stage. So that will be dangerous for EG. The mice holding around the middle. And this is basically what mice do in this map. But it does make for some stalemate gaming. The S4s pulling back around the back. And that is a hit. Whoopsie, landing that missile in Edgar. And we see another missile hit, but it actually hits the building. But that's always the danger of the missiles, isn't it? Aggie has been spotted. Vano is moving in. Taking a shot in winch. Before pulling back quickly. Nicolay losing a little bit of HP. Walker in a pretty TD position. Big hit into Lego. Nick running off towards the other side. Followed by Dakudas. The terrible twos. And we see some action around the middle, but nothing really definite yet. Little bits of HE being chipped away on EG's side. And now Vano is losing a little bit of HP as well. Rashford losing HP to Radikos. And we have the Sheridans arriving at the back, potentially going after Rashford because he is alone. Or no, Nick is just going to steal base C right from under their noses, because why not? Lars is pushing in. Losing some HP there, but they seem to be pushing on Rashford here. Bouncing. Base B is being capped. EG is losing a lot of HP. Oh, but so does Lars, and Lars is actually the first gun to be taken out. Base B has been capped. Base A and C are both in Legion's position though. Rashford taking another hit, then bouncing. But he has to be careful. Off, there you go. Nick takes them out. Dakudas running off after he shoots Winch. And now we have Nick going off. They are going after Winch now. Vano has been taken out. Winch is still alive. But he's not going to survive the next reload of those two. Oh, Radical's losing a lot of HP. Lego's still alive. And that missile from Nick taking out Lego. Radicals losing his life here. It is 5 versus 5. And Winch is still in the base. General losing a lot of HP. Dakudas arriving at the back. Nick losing HP. And basically they have to be careful. They will need to, well, actually no, Legion has this. Legion has this regardless of what happens. Especially with Winch being taken out. Legion takes the game. Because they're already at 1k points. This would have been very interesting in encounter though. Very interesting, definitely. So now it is 2-2. Anything can still happen. And you just said the best part is Ouija removed the pink dot from the garage, so I can't even check if I'm lagging or not. Yeah, that is something that I really want back. Because that is something that is really annoying me as well. 1.5 minutes left to go before we go to Desert Sands, the third map in this matchup. It looks like this, yeah, 3 bases, 1 in the desert, 2 in the city. Base C is relatively the most protected one, but the positions around base A are generally a lot stronger. Anything can happen on this map. I'm very curious to see what we will see, because generally we see a lot of desert action here, and base B and C are pretty much neglected unless for cheeky caps. But that might be different here, because we see that EG is taking a lot of heavy tanks. And we see that Legion has ready up in 2 T-22 mediums, 2 E-100s, 2 E5s and a Sheridan, and they're going to go up against 3 IS-4s, 2 mice and 2 AMX-50Bs, or maybe not. Things might still change. They have 40 seconds left to know. It is actually one of the IS-4s has become a 113 to give them some form of mobility. And let's see, half a minute left to go before we go into the match. Anything can still happen. First team to reach 5 victories is the one that actually goes through to the grand final straight away. And the other one is going to the lower bracket. And here we go. Into the 5th game of this best of 9. Let's see. Aggie in the stream chat because he's not been lined up. Let's see. Sheridan is about to be blown up. And there he goes. So we have Legion heading towards the desert with all but the E100s. And EG heading towards base C with all tanks. AMXs smartly. This is something. They're not knocking down trees as they go over. Lego also crossing the rails all the way to the back to be as unspotted as possible. Legion grabbing base A. They will have a slight poison advantage. Not that big one though. And we have the mice moving into base B very aggressively. Bouncing a lot of shots though, and because there's 3 of them, they will definitely be able to cap, even if they lose some HP there. And they've almost got it. They are protecting their IS-4. Winch losing actually more HP getting out of the base than just staying in it. But Winch still alive. Nicolate losing a little bit of HP. Winch still the preferred target. Rashford moving in to protect Winch. Because now he's a big block in front of them. Legion has 5 tanks here. 2 tanks at the back. The E100s who might get clipped. Winch has been taken out. Aggie arriving at the back. And now we have the Clippers moving in. And that is a massive hit into the AMX. And that bounce is very vital. Last losing HP as they cross on up and over. Vano almost gone. But Spacey is the preferred target there, and he's going to be deleted. There he goes along with Vano. And now we have Whoops arriving in the Sheridan. Nicolate has been taken out. There goes Whoops. There goes General. EG has lost 4 tanks versus 3 tanks from Legion. Lego in an interesting position. Rashford occupying 2 tanks. And Orca arriving. Ready to clip Object 3. If he manages to get there in time. They will need to focus together. There goes Object 3. And missing that shot on Dagadas could have been very expensive. And now We have Orca arriving, wanting to save Rashford. He's not going to be saved unless he bounces that one, but he doesn't. And now Legion is definitely grabbing this game. He has to be very careful. Oh, he does take that hit. But Orca still alive. Legion has 3 bases though. And they have the HP advantage. Especially since Orca now has to reload. And he wants to take that shot from Lego. But that's not going... Ooh, that is going to happen. He takes the shot to keep Lego alive that little bit longer. And it is a very close game. There goes Orca though. And Lego is the last one alive. And with 980 points, Legion is taking this game. And that is the 5th match up and over. And it is 2-3 now, according to the scoreboard that we see in the training room. This was close. Interesting stuff. Also, don't spoiler. One and a half minute left to go before we go into the second match on Desert Sands. And we'll see what happens. 1 minute 20 seconds left to go. We have to be a little bit more patient. Legion now completely ready in 2 T22 mediums, 2 E100s, 2 E5s and a Sheridan. And they're going to go up against, let's see, 2 E5s, 2 IS4s, a 113 and STB. And let's see what Orca is taking. 1 minute left to go. And he is taking an IS4 by the looks of it. Or maybe not. Spacey's moved in instead. 45 seconds left to go before we go into the 6th match of this best of 9. And there we go. So we have 2 E5s, 2 IS4s, a Sheridan, a 113 and an STB on AG's side. Half a minute left to go. And then we'll see what happens. 15 seconds. This is basically, I just want the game to start. Like, if everyone is ready, it would just be so nice to just be able to start early. But here we go, countdown clock has begun. And we are moving into the game. Chip Bottle just said, "Whoopsie is Jesus 2.0. They called me a madman." Yeah, I know, I keep mixing up NG and Eggy, but I kind of have to read fast and focus on the action, and that is how that goes horribly wrong. You should have seen, like, earlier on Asia server, E7 changed their names to all be something like Middix, Medics, Maddox, and everything, and it was horrible. EG now, going into the desert, going to meet those T22 mediums. The E5s are also crossing over. Oof. Effect Supreme already losing some HP. That missile missed though, and he's lucky with that. But pretty much all of EG is in the desert. And that could work out well for them. Because Legion has 2 slow tanks stuck in the middle. And as long as they push before those E100s arrive, they have the advantage. But they do have to push together before those E100s arrive. But Legion is pulling back, and that is a very clever move, because now those E100s are arriving in the desert. And you do not want those big guns there. Oh, Vano losing a lot of HP there. And base A has been capped. Lego losing HP as he pulls back. That is not the position that you want your IS4 to be in. And now EG has the advantage, both in base, in points, and in HP, if not by much. And basically, now sort of the waiting games begin. Legion will have to make a move at some point. We see missiles flying left and right. That did the big chunk of health from Lego. And I'll be happy when the missiles are nerfed and this can't happen as much anymore. Let's see. We see a missile hitting the stand there. All of EG stuck together. Base B and C both ignored. But EG has the advantage here. But Legion could make a very deadly push. Dakota's taking a little bit of damage there. And we have EG making a move. Nick going around the back. But crossing up back over into the desert. Potentially wanted to focus RG there. Oh, and that missile missed. Basically, I want to show you everything at the same time, and I can't really do that. We have Winch at the back, protecting RG, but now relocating. Legion spread out in pretty much pairs, with the exception of Nick, who is going towards the middle. Don't think he's actually going into the base though. No, he's careful with that. He does get spotted. And now Winch is spotted at the back. Nick arriving. This could potentially be very deadly where he's at right now. That is a big hit into Winch. That is the downside of having a missile tank there. You kind of have to make a move against him. Yeah, Winch calling that out as well. Because especially just across that distance there, missiles are very deadly, and that one actually just tracked Winch, but it did hit. RG losing a little bit of HP. Nick running the other way again, especially now that Effect Supreme and Winch were both seem to be gunning for him. The E100s are moving in. Vano losing a lot of HP here. Vano steadily being shot to hell, and he is the first one gone. But with 780 points on EG's side, Legion has no option but to go in. But now Radicals is hopefully... Well, now there's the E100 there as well, but oh my god, he is not in a position that you want to be in. Steadily getting murdered. We have Dakotas arriving, along with Lost. General is been taken out. There goes Eggy. 800 points for Legion. There goes Lego. Radical's not looking too healthy. And he is taken out as well. Object 3 next in line. Taking another hit. But there he goes. 885 points for EG. And now Rashford has to stay alive somehow. And he might just do that. As Dakotas gets murdered. And now Winch has been taken out. Base A is being capped wisely because they don't really have a choice. He is using the E100 Corps to do it. But it is full with a lot of damage modules. Nick is almost gone. He managed to survive a little bit longer. But Nicolade is arriving. And now the timer is going up and over. And he is shot, and that turret just flies on far and far. And Last is the last one left. And that shot concludes the game, and EG takes it, and it is 3-3. That is an amazing game. Actually, no, I'm going to do this differently. There's a guy in the chat that is just giving spoilers. So if you want to do that, you're not just getting timed out. This is the second time you've done that, just don't. So now you can't talk in my channel anymore. Very nice game. Very nicely held by EG. Let's see, 1.5 minutes left to go, and we're going to Vineyards. Vineyards, one of my favorite maps, especially when it still had the old lighting. This is the map. You have 3 bases. Base C is actually a little bit more to the back of the city, but base A and B closer to their respective spawns. And like with any maps, anything can happen, and it will be interesting to see what these two monster teams will do there. Because as you can already see by the way that things are going, they are generally like alike and same kind of level and do epic things. Let's see. 50 seconds left to go. Plenty of time to get ready. And we have EG now pretty much ready up in a Sheridan, an E50M, an STB, 2 IS4s, another E50M and a mouse. And they're going to go up against a 268, potentially a heck lot of Sheridans. Let's see what is going to be taken there. Nicolate, still not sure. There he goes. We have 2 E50Ms, a Sheridan, 2 IS4s, an STB and a mouse on EG side. Versus 2 Sheridans, a 268, an IS4 and potentially 2 E5s, but they kind of do need to ready up. 7 seconds. Not enough time. Lost, you have to ready up. 3. Oof. Oh my god, that was close. Don't do that, guys. Don't give me a heart attack. Wow. That was way too close. Don't do that. And let's see. Team is apparently not loaded in. Here we go. And let's go up, up and away. And we have RG and effects. F-jacked. Okay, yeah. I'm just going to stick with Effect Supreme. Going towards the base B. Base A and B kept at the same time, but Legion will have a slight advantage because Last drove into it just that tiny little bit early. Whoops again taking a missile location. Not banning that shot though. C also being kept. Daggerdas having run around. Last getting the blip out of there. We have the E50Ms pushing around the back. But with this, Legion will have a point advantage and a base advantage, at least for a time, until EG goes after base A. And they could very well do that, but Last is there. As is Nick. Using the bushes and staying at the back. Nick being a bit more forwards here. RG and Lego in the middle there, holding. But with 2 bases, Legion is ramping up the advantage. Oof, big hit into general there. And Nick just uses the building and rocks to hide and not get shot at. Orca protecting base B. Lego having moved around. RG a little bit forwards here. Nick running around the back. Sorry, I should say Whoopsie, but I'm just so used to calling him Nick. But Whoops running around the back. And Lego. Oh! Big hits into Nick there. Lego losing HP as well, but he is stealing the base. We see a missile fly, and it does not pan. He is getting reset, but he's not losing that much HP over it. And he is keeping them all spotted, and basically he has to hide now. But Daggerdas is also losing quite a bit of HP here. Let's see. If he were to cap on the other side, though, he might be able to make it, if not for the fact that Juicy is there and eager to shoot him as well. But now Legion is relocating, and that is interesting because Angie is still there, but all the Sheridans are now in the city. We are at 850 points. He kind of has to move in. He does not have a choice. Effect Supreme also moving in to try and cap that base more quickly. They need that base, otherwise there's no chance whatsoever. They are getting... Oh, and he actually gets splash damaged. That was evil. Very, very evil. But now they've got base A. And they still need to make a move, because still Legion is already at 900 points and they're not going to give up base C that easily. And EG will have to make a move for it. Lego lost too much HP here. RG going towards the middle. 940 points for Legion already. EG has to make a move. They have to make it fast. We see the E50Ms and Effect Supreme arriving at the back. But they're not pushing hard enough. They need to make the push. They need to make the push aggressive. Oof, that I missed though. 995 and Legion takes it. EG not aggressive enough at the final stages to take it home. Losing too much HP trying to cut base aim when they had to take C as well. Wow. Everyone lives. Sorry, I find that funny. All the players live. You don't see that very often. 3-4. And now we have the option that the next game might be the final game of this night. If Legion is taking it home. If Legion wins the next match, they've won and they're going through to the grand final straight away. If EG wins the next match, then we get a tiebreaker. So it's going to be great fun. Let's see, just over a minute left to go before we go into the 8th match of this matchup. Honestly, I love the games being this long at the same time. I kind of wish that I could just take a nap before tonight. Because that's also a thing. 50 seconds left to go. EG has now completely read up with 2 IS-4s. A Sheridan, 2 Leos and 2 E5s. That is an interesting lineup. We don't see very many Leos this time around, especially not when the Sheridans are there. But they do have that laser accuracy that the German tanks are famous for, and it can be a fantastic tank. And Legion is now readied up as well with the 268, 1 Sheridan, 1 IS-4, 2 E5s and 2 140s. So that is similar but different choice of rolling tank. Leos versus Object 140s, that's going to be interesting. 14 seconds left to go. No, one of the 140s has been changed into a Sheridan. And actually the Sheridan has been changed to 140. So same lineup, different players. And here we go. 3 seconds left to go before we go into the match. And let's see what happens. These are definitely the kind of games you want. Honestly, amazing. Loving the go EG, go Legion things in the chat. Honestly, I am for both at this stage. Let's see. I want these two to make the finals, honestly. So let's see. Legion pushing towards the B area and the upper corner. Effect Supreme heading towards the same spot that Nick had last game. Base A not being kept at all. That could be dangerous because that's giving Legion an early point advantage. That is going to be hard to take back. Most of EG is in the middle. But Legion is in a position that they can pull back quite quickly. Effect Supreme all the way at the back. Now capping. Winch losing some HP. Juicy being rushed now. And that is a lot of HP to lose very quickly. Radicals also losing some HP. Getting hit by those 2 Leos. So getting set on fire probably doesn't help. Juicy is almost gone. Winch also though. But it is Winch that takes him out. And we have the 140s and the Sheridans. Winch is not going to survive this. He knows this. He does take another shot though. There he goes. General not looking too healthy either. Object 3 being rushed now. General has been taken out. Rashford has been taken out. This push is not really coordinated enough. It is 4 versus 4. Anything can happen. Legion has the advantage in bases, but also in... Well, actually no, HP is just pretty much going the same way. Nicolay not looking too healthy and holding back. Angie not much alive anymore. Whoopsie taking damage. There goes Angie. They need to make sure that their weaker guns survive, because they will need to take those guns. Big hits into Dakotas. Nika now going forwards, which is very dangerous to do. Effect Supreme going after. Oof, but it's actually Orca that takes him out. There goes Orca. It is 3 versus 2. Anything can still happen. That shot misses though. And Effect Supreme is barely alive, but he's still alive. Not at this reload. There he goes. It is 2 versus 2. And they will need to focus on the 140. But they can't really afford to. Not with Nicolate being this low HP. And this reload, Nicolate is going to die. And now it is 2 versus 1. And it will be Legion's game by points, by guns. Nick is not taking any chances. He is using the rock for cover. And Last is just shooting him, tracking him, making it impossible for Lego to do anything. And when he shoots, Nick can peek out and get a shot in as well. Very brilliant game. Last protecting Nick, letting him even get a shot in, tracking him again. And Lego can't do anything. And it is Whoopsie that takes him out. And Legion is through to the grand finals. What games though, honestly. Look at the damage that Last did. Very well done. EG almost had it, but they focused. They took too long to get to the tanks that they wanted to take out, and some of their team was not able to get along with them, and that made them get knocked out relatively early. 3.5 minutes left for this game. Overall though, very well played by both teams. This was absolutely epic, absolutely lovely to see. And like I said, I hope to see both these teams in the grand finals. So basically on Saturday, we will start off with Raid versus Loka. And after that, the winner of that match gets to go against EG. And the winner of that match gets to go against Legion in the grand finals on Sunday. Very amazing games tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you all for watching. That is it for me for tonight. I will be back in about 5... Well, I will be back in 5 hours actually. To stream the NA server. And I hope to see you all there. It's definitely going to be fun then as well. And I will have to go and stream for that. So if you are from the NA server, you are watching that, make sure to watch for the portal. For now, I wish you all a very good night. And like I said, I will see you either tonight for EU or on Saturday for Asia, EU or an NA. Sorry, later tonight for NA, of course. Have a good night, everyone. And I will see you later. Thank you all for watching. Thank you to my lovely moderator team for moderating the chat for me. And bye-bye for now.